So,
Okay.
welcome to Hidden Potential, episode 9 of the vlogs.
Woo, woo. Ooh, episode 13 has to be something special.
But I hope you enjoyed last week's weekly funnies. I'm not sure the direction exactly that we're going with that. Try to get something funny out this week. Got a bunch of stuff recorded.
We do.
Well, I got a couple things recorded. It's a work in progress, but the one thing that I'm doing right now is I'm listening to the book Atomic Habits.
Recommended by my sister. But he conveniently had already purchased it, so.
Yeah, I would say as far as a habit building, I've read a couple different habit building books, and that one is the best as far as suggesting habits you can implement right away. It's called Atomic Habits because atomic is very small, but they have a big impact. Like an atomic bomb. Splitting an atom is very small, but there's lots of energy created by doing that. So by doing these small changes, you can change your life around, just implementing little habits here and there until you kind of get your system down. And today I got to the chapter where we're talking about tracking your habits. So I started an app, Habitica, and it's basically like a little bitty game, and as you complete your habits daily, weekly, whatever, you get points towards upgrading your character and having an egg hatch into a pet and taking care of a pet. And yay, more stuff to do. So I'm just excited. Sorry, it's really getting me kind of fired up again because I was using this app a couple of years ago and I really liked it, but then I just stopped. And
We did that before I had Melody.
Yeah.
Or before I was pregnant even.
But one thing that they did say was, like, and I knew this too, Jerry Seinfeld, he made a habit of writing at least one joke every day, regardless of whether it was good or bad. And as an aspiring comedian, I am going to try to start doing that again, because I was writing a joke almost every day for however many months I did that, and kind of fallen off the wagon about a lot of those habits. So,
And I should be working on my art every day, but
I think that's why these vlogs are mostly just vlogs and there's not a lot of content, is because I haven't gotten in the habits, develop the proper habits to create.
In a way, the vlog is creating a habit.
It is. The vlog is keeping me accountable to have a video out about every week, sometimes a little bit longer, but yeah.
And this is where we're starting. Who knows what'll come out of it? So we're just gonna keep going in the right direction.
I am still in the habit of going to the gym. Like, I don't even really think about it. It's not a struggle. I want to go to the gym. It's a habit. Same with singing. I sing probably about 5 times a week, and it's a habit, and I like it. Playing my drums, not quite as much. It's more difficult just because I don't like to get interrupted when I start.
Yeah.
But it's even though I have electronic drums, playing it at night sometimes, Melly can hear, I think, some of it.
He gets
I get kind of loud.
He gets into it. And even the thuds on, I mean, obviously it's way quieter than if you had acoustic drums, but it still gets pretty loud. But not enough that I'm like, she's sleeping in there.
So I guess that's my main things I wanted to promote. The Atomic Habits book. Only got a couple chapters left. It's audiobook. There's less than an hour left.
Yeah. I just finished up listening to Kevin Hart's Decision. That's what it's called.
The Decision.
The Decision. So he's listened to that at least 3 times.
I really like that book.
So I finally listened to it. It's really good. It's engaging while still teaching you something.
The only thing I will say about that book is I listened to it 3 times, but I didn't change any of my habits, and so it didn't actually motivate me to do anything different, despite being a positive, uplifting book,
Yeah.
I really just enjoy him as a person and how he tells the story.
He's a good storyteller. For sure.
I actually don't really like his comedy. I don't find him funny really at all.
What does that mean?
And I was resisting even getting the book, but it just kind of was like, oh, motivational
Is
books,
it
I'll see.
recording you still?
But after listening to that book, I really like him. I have respect for him. I think that it's a really well put together book. Unfortunately, knowing all the motivational stuff that I've listened to, there wasn't really a lot of new content, and so it didn't really motivate me. But the Atomic Habits book, getting me going.
Yeah, and so for The Decision, that's a really good start book for getting into.
Yeah, The Decision is a very
yeah.
good, complete book. Kind of covers most of the bases on.
It simplifies things, but that's a good that can be a good thing.
Yeah.
To not make things so complicated. I'm really good at complicating things, so.
It's called The Decision, I believe, just because you make a decision. Every decision you make has consequences, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And just
and they're your decisions.
Yeah, and just making the decision to take charge of your life is really what I think his message is.
Mm-hmm. And to own it, own everything, own the good, the bad, and make what you want out of it, because life is a playground, and decide to have fun.
So on the positive side, the storm of sadness has subsided a little bit. There was a little bit yesterday, but
it ebbs and flows, but I think we got past a big part of it, and we're gonna get through it. After next week, I'm thinking will help change a lot. I think I have some anxiety about next week.
Well, you probably should mention why.
Okay, so next week I am driving, so actually in 2 days, Friday, I'm driving down to Indiana with just me and Melody. We're renting a car, and then we're gonna babysit for my cousin Erica. She has 6 kiddos, so her 3 older ones, her 3 big ones are going by her grandma, her mother, their grandma, and I'm going to be watching the 3 littles at their house, so her and her husband can go to Tennessee and celebrate their anniversary. So, yeah, so it's about a 4-hour drive, but no, it was going to be a 3-hour drive, but I have to go to Fond du Lac to get the car because there weren't any cars in West Bend. So I have to go backtrack about an hour, so the trip's going to be like an hour and a half, or the trip's going to be about 4 hours to drive down there, but then I'm going to be there for a whole week, and then Eric's going to come and pick me up, so he'll spend the last 2 days there with me, and then we'll come back, and then is our nephew's birthday is the day after we get back, so we've got a lot. So driving isn't my strongest skill, and I'm going to be going through 2 big cities. I'm going to be having tolls, and Melody has done long trips, but she hasn't done long trips without somebody in the back seat with her. So there's always been at least 2 people in the car besides her. So I'm nervous about that. The whole driving part, because I've driven with her and long trips before, and I've gone up to Michigan, but that doesn't have any tolls, so it's less scary. Chicago is scary, okay?
Chicago sucks.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide if I go around Chicago just to avoid it and just take the extra time, or if I go through it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. And
Chicago is among my least favorite cities, and it's mostly because of the driving. I can't say much for the people, but because I don't know anybody that lives there, but the driving sucks.
And then that's also going to be the longest that Melody and I have been away from Eric. So that part's going to be see how she does without Daddy for that long. But I'm working on it. I'm figuring it out. But I'm still doing my dance. I'm feeling improvements there, at least, so that's good.
One thing with the Habits book that I like that's driving me is a lot of what I'm already doing is actually developing good habits. Like I said, I have been singing, I have been playing my drums, and I do all this stuff, but the progress takes time. As the author was talking about, that he went to the gym maybe not every day, but consistently for a year, and didn't really see the results until after the year, as far as like final results that he wanted. It takes time for anything, so my progress is slow, but my habits are good and getting better.
Yeah, and one thing that you said that, like, for me was like a shock to come out of your mouth, because you're always like with like careers and things that you have in your life, like equipment and stuff, you always say quality over quantity. You want things to work well, and you want things to do what they're supposed to do. And with habits, you start out with quantity over quality because you just need to get started, right? And
Well,
you just
the thing that kind of changed my thinking on that, because I almost everything that I've done in my life, I've just tried to get high quality, and I thought about
he's
it.
only had one girlfriend.
I've thought about it more, like I worry about negative consequences, so I don't start, or I look at the big picture and so I don't start, and so that's just a lot of wasted time. The example they used in the book was they had a class and they divided the people up like in half basically. Half the class was supposed to focus on quantity, take as many pictures as possible, as a photography class, take as many pictures as possible.
That's how I do my photography.
And then the other group was just do the highest quality shots you can get and don't take a lot of pictures. Well, the group that took more pictures ended up taking the best quality shots of the class, because the whole time they're taking pictures, they're refining their technique and they're figuring out what works and what doesn't. And that's how life works.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been resisting that because it's a daunting task sometimes when you're like, oh man, the end goal, it's so huge and so far away, what's the point? But it's just like anything, grass growing, paint drying, it just takes time.
Yeah, so it's all about just creating a life, and you're never like once you succeed at one thing, there's going to be another thing to go. So it's you're not going to like just like, okay, I made it, and now I'm going to just enjoy and cruise by the rest.
You never get it done,
Yeah.
as Abraham says.
Never get it done.
For the weekly funnies, I'm going to have that just be a separate video. I'm not going to have it be part of the vlog, because last week I think it was kind of confusing. So not a whole lot again for you right now, but know that we are working, well, I am working on my content.
You are?
You keep saying you haven't done much, so you aren't doing anything.
I'm doing the inner work scenes, okay? I got a lot of turmoil going on in the noggin, and in the soul. Learning how to not hate yourself after hating yourself forever is daunting and difficult, and I'm working on that. So, yeah.
But basically, oh, I did forget to mention two things. I have another podcast set up for tomorrow that I'm going to be talking to my friend Joe. He had cancer and he overcame it, so I always like those stories of people beating cancer.
Yeah. Well, he just had such a good attitude even before that, so he's just all around good guy. So.
And I also recorded stand-up 2 shows last night. I'm starting a new habit of recording myself doing stand-up as much as I can, just for practice, because someday I would like to be an entertainer, musician, and comedian. Maybe I'll combine them like Weird Al, I don't know. But I enjoy doing both, so I'm going to keep doing both until that I get good and I get an audience. So,
Whoop Woo woo.
And maybe that'll be part of the weekly funny. I haven't quite figured out exactly what that's going to be, but I should have it out. I should have it out by the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
So that's all I want to really talk about right now. It's not really anything else new. It's going to be a difficult week next week for her, and then we'll be back in business.
Maybe it's going to be a challenging week. A challenge. Challenge is good.
Yeah, but it's going to be a little bit different. So we'll see what happens next week, and we'll just keep on putting ourselves out there for the 4 of you to watch.
Woohoo! We had 9 views on some videos, right?
We had 13 on my toilet cleaning video, so thanks for watching those.
13 views! We're making it!
It might be more now, I haven't checked in a while, but thanks for watching. I hope that you do enjoy this content. I hope that we can make it somewhat entertaining for you until we get the real content out there. As we grow. But this is all learning experience for us. And yeah, you guys are great. Leave if you have any comments about more stuff you'd like to see. I plan on doing some reviews in the future too. Just ideas, suggestions, whatever. And thanks for your support.
Thank you. Say goodbye, Eric.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to hit the like button.
And subscribe.
And subscribe if you haven't already.
And shake your bell.